Hey guys, welcome to Tabletop Warbands. In this video we are playing Warhammer 40k in a 500 points match that sees Ultramarines versus Orcs. Unfortunately, Andrea is still not well and could not be present during the recording, so I rolled the dice for both of us, but we play at a distance following his instructions. Anyway, I'm Simone and I will play Space Marines.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and today I'll be guiding the orcs from home. Before we started, if you are subscribed to the channel, welcome back. If you are not subscribed yet and want to help us, join a growing community now by clicking on the subscribe button. And don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss the next battle reports. Thank you guys!
Today's mission is Show of Force. The two armies will have to deploy within these two areas. There are 4 objectives and they are arranged in this way. As secondary objectives, Ultramarines have chosen Slay the Warlord, Attrition and Engage on all fronts, while the Orcs have Slay the Warlord, Stomp and Good and Get the Good Bits. The match will last 5 rounds, at the end of which whoever has accumulated more victory points will win. Both armies start with 3 command points as both are organized as combat patrol.
Let's move on to the description of the armies. After conquering and razing an imperial city, a group of orcs led by Zodgrod Wurznaga decided to camp for the night while waiting to find more cities to demolish. If only it weren't for the fact that, when they woke up, they found an army of space marines waiting for them outside their tents. My orcs are part of the Snakebite clan, meaning that they can only be wounded at 4+ if the attacker's strength is 7 or less. In addition, when a squeak model charges or performs a heroic intervention, he adds 1 to the wound roll. The leader is Zodgrod Wurznaga. As general trait, he has Beast Gob, which adds 1 damage to Squeak's attacks if within 6 inches of this general. Being a named character, he cannot have a relic equipped. Next in line, we have 10 Boids. 8 are equipped with Slug and Chop-Up, 1 with the rocket launcher, and the Nob is armed with the Power Claw. Alongside the Boids, we have 15 Beast Naga Boids, also armed with Slug and Chop-Up, and one of the models has a Thump Gun instead. I trust a lot in them to eliminate the base units of the Space Marines. Next, we have a Nob on Smash a Squeak, who has a devastating charge. With 5d6 on the impact, he could eliminate the enemies even before starting the fight. And to top it off, there are 3 awesome Squeak Boids with their trusty Bomb Squeak. With 6 strength and 4+ armor save, they should be able to deal with all Space Marine units. I can't wait to see them in action.
A force of orcs has taken possession of a ruined imperial city and set up camp right in the center. The once glorious buildings have been marred by greenskin barbarism. A contingent of Space Marines is on the way to regain what belongs to the Emperor and eradicate the threat of the orcs. The general of the army is the famous Lieutenant Primaris Reginald, a veteran of many battles. He is armed with a mastercrafted power sword and a bolt pistol. As warrior trait, I chose Champion of Humanity, and as a relic, he has the Armor Indomitus, which has a wound, gives him a save characteristic of 2+, and once per battle he can activate a force field, which grants him a 3+ invulnerable save until the end of the phase. The core of my detachment are 2 Assault Intercessor units, the 5th and 6th Squad, made up of 5 models each and both armed with heavy bolt pistol and a Starter's Chainsword. In support of the infantry is the unit that our community has given its name to, the Cobalt Eagles. These Outriders will be the tip of my spear, throwing themselves into the fray. And finally, a multi-melt armed ATV Invader. Squeaks are going to have a hard time with this wonder.
I have deployed the orcs, trying not to leave one side weaker than the other. On the left side, the Boids are supported by the Nob on Smash a Squeak, and just in case, also the leader. Although I would like to use Zodgrod mainly to keep the objective 1. On the other side, I have the Snagaboids and the Squeagogs in order to demolish any enemies between them and victory. Now, I just hope I can start first.
I try to deploy the units in a balanced way, keeping the bikes on the right flank and covered by the tents, just in case Andrea had the initiative. The ATV is deployed in the center, ready to be moved where it's needed, being careful to place it where it can have a good line of sight. I hope I can start second and let the orcs advance. The Cobalt Eagles engines roar, waiting to jump into the fray.
Rolling for initiative.
Okay, a 2.
Not okay, a 1.
I would have preferred to start second, but that's okay. I will take advantage of this to position myself better and prepare for the next turn. During the first round, the Devastator Doctrine is active, improving the armor penetration of my heavy and grenade weapons by 1. The 6th Squad advances and with a 4 has all the movement it needs to take over behind the building. The bikes move a little further, staying out of the possible charge distance of the Nob on Smash a Squeak. The Marines on the left flank advance and position themselves behind the piece of building inside of the objective. Reginald moves forward but staying within 3 inches of the objective in order to control it. Lastly, the ATV supports the Marines, ensuring a good line of sight on the Orcs. The Cobalt Eagle starts the hunting season by opening fire on the Orcs unit in front of them, 12 shots at 3+ with their rapid fire weapons. 8 hits, with strength 4 and toughness 5, I wounded 5. Just 1, of course.
The cover provided by the tent cancels the penetration, so saving with 6. Nope, first death of the match.
The ATV only has these Nagaboids inside, so it will shoot at them. Let's start with the 2 shots of the Multi-Melta at 3+. I have no words. Really. Let's try the 6 shots of the secondary weapon at 3+. 4 hit. I need 5 to wound. 2 wounds.
Invulnerable save at 6. And again, 2 more deaths for the Orcs. In the morale phase, the only ones that have to test are the Snagga. With 7 discipline, I need to do everything but 6. 1. Perfect. Unfortunately, I'm still too far away to charge Simone, so I too am forced to move forward, and with a good advance roll, I could even get to take an objective, but I'm not sure how much it would be worth. For the moment, I don't expose myself too much. First, I make my bots advance forward in order to make room for my Nob. With 4, they manage to position themselves to the right of the tent, but fail to reach the objective. The Nob has no way to charge anyone, so he stands still with Zodgrod. Snaggas move forward 5 inches and place themselves in cover behind the wall. They also have no chance to charge, so I leave them in cover to avoid unnecessary losses. The Squigogs advance, and with 4, they take cover behind the building, hoping not to attract too much attention. The only Orc that can fire this turn is the Snagga boy with the thumb gun, and he targets the ATV, firing D3 attacks. 2. I hit at 5. Just 1. With higher strength, I wound with 3. Wounded.
At -1 penetration, I need a 4 to save. Perfect! The shot bounces off the armor. The first round was pretty quiet, neither of us managed to have targets to charge. I certainly would have preferred my shooting phase to be more substantial, but the Marines are still perfecting their aim. In the next round, I will have more moves to make at my disposal. My Cobalt Eagles are eager to charge.
Well, I'd say this turn was pretty fast. Maybe too fast. Nothing happened, so I can't complain. In the next round, Simone will definitely charge me. Let's see if these Orcs are really tough as they say.
During the second round is active the Tactical Doctrine, improving every rapid fire and assault weapons armor penetration by 1. In the command phase, I earn 5 victory points for controlling 1 objective. The 6th squad finally moves towards the center of the battlefield and positions itself in control of Objective 2. The Outriders move next to the tent to enter at charging distance from the Nob. The other team of Marines moves in control of Objective 4, right in front of the main Orc troops. Finally, the ATV positions itself in the middle of the buildings to have a view of the Squigs. The 6th team aims their pistols at the boys in front of them. A Marine throws a grenade. Let's start with the pistols. 4 shots at 3. 2 hit, wounding at 5. I think my dice are trying to tell me something, but I don't know what. The Marine uses a crack grenade, so a single 3+ shot. I guess not. The bikes fire their rapid fire weapons at the boys, 12 shots at 3+. Much better, 9 shots. Wounding at 5. I mean, 5-1 in 9 shots is something, isn't it? Just 1 wound.
Unfortunately, with -2 penetration, the Orc just dies.
The 5th squad tries to take down some Squigs using their pistols, 5 shots at 3+. 4 hit, with strength 4 I wounded 5+. 2 wounds.
Cover cancels the -1 penetration, so save at 4+. Just 1, rerolling 1 with a command point. Still 1. 1 wound to this guy.
The ATV aims the Multi-Melta at the Squigs and opens fire.
I spend 2 command points for the stratagem Tough as Squig Hide, making sure they can only be hit with 4+, even if the attack strength is greater than 8.
2 attacks from Multi-Melta at 3+. They both hit! Despite the strength 8 of the weapon, I wounded 4+ due to Andrea's stratagem. I use a command point to reroll a dice. Nope, it really failed. 1 dice wounds.
Too much penetration, then invulnerable save at 6. Nope.
Multi-Melta does d6 damage. Perfect, the Orc is dead.
Too bad. There are only 2 Squigogs left.
The ATV keeps firing with the twin autobolt rifle, 6 shots at 3+. 4 hit. I wounded 5 again. Only 1.
Saving with 4 plus thanks to the cover. With 6, he's perfectly safe.
Time for the charge! Let's start with the infantry. The 6 squad charges the Boyds and needs at least a 5 to succeed. Literally 5! Great! The first Marines are in combat, ready to make an avalanche of attacks on the Orcs. The Outriders charge the Nobles Smash quick and need a 4 to get there. 8 is perfect! I have enough movement to get even the last back into combat. By attacking the Nob first, I avoided unpleasant consequences that he could have caused me charging. The 5th squad charges the Squeagogs and needs 6 to succeed. Okay, maybe they weren't ready. I use a command point to reroll. Oh, there you go, double 6! It is very likely that the Snagga boys will charge too in the next turn, but I aim to kill the Squeagogs before that happens. Let's start with the 6 squad on the Boyds. 21 attacks at 3+, divided into 2 groups. 7 hits in the first group, 4 hits in the second. Look at the Festival of Wands. Is that normal for you? 11 successful attacks out of 21. I wounded 5 due to higher toughness. Rerolling this dice because it's in a balance. 5 wounds! Better than expected.
With -1 penetration, unfortunately I can't save them. With 5 deaths, 3 models remain in the unit, but they are still alive and can fight back. The 3 Boyds respond with 6 normal attacks on 3 and 3 Power Claw attacks on 4.
To avoid too much damage, I use the stratagem Transhuman Physiology for a command point. Orcs can only wound Marines on 4+.
We roll to see how many they hit. Only 3, wounding with 4, 2 wounded.
-1 penetration, so save at 4+. I didn't mean for that way. A Marine has died.
And now it's up to the Nob with his Power Claw. 3 attacks on 4, just 1. Wounding with 4, not even wounded.
Here is the first Marine of the game who lives. The Empire already misses you. It's time to see the Cobalt Eagles tear the Nob apart. 19 attacks at 3+. What? Out of 19 attacks on 3, I only hit 7? I repeat, 7 dice out of 19. At 3. I must have done something wrong in my past life. Wounding at 5. 3 wounds.
With -1, the Nob saves at 5. Just 1 through. That's acceptable. Roll to see if the Nob can ignore the wound on 5+. Unlucky. 4 wounds remaining. Now, however, he responds with his 4 attacks on 3 plus the 2 attacks of the Squeak. Just 3. Higher strength, so wounding with 3. 2 wounded.
Saving at 4 for the penetration. Just 1.
Last attack of the relic that I was about to forget. Always a 3? Never mind.
2 wounds to the bike. It could have been a lot worse. The 5th squad attacks the Squeagogs with 21 dice at 3+, divided into 2 groups. In the first group, 8 hits. In the second, another 8. 16 hits in total. Due to the toughness 6 of the Squeaks, the Marines wound at 5+. 6 wounds, not bad.
Saving at 5+ again, only 3 wounds saved, with another Squeagog dead. Enraged, the last Squeagog boy responds with 3 attacks at 3. Hitting 2, strength 6, toughness 4, wounding at 3. Just 1.
Saving at 4+ again. Ah, not this time. 2 wounds.
Let's move on to the Squeagog. 2 bites on 3, only 1. Wounding at 3 for the higher strength, at least it wounded.
-1 penetration, I need 4. Finally a right dice roll!
Last attack of the Grot, always at 3. Hit! With strength 3, he wounds at 5. Wounded!
Again 4 to save. Perfect, he's safe. Another Marine died for the cause.
In the morale phase, both Squeagog and Boyds had to take the test, starting with the Boyds that have to roll 1 to succeed. That is not a 1. Combat attrition test, rolling a dice for every model remaining in the unit. For every 1 more model flees the battlefield. Let's see. They're good. 1 less, but still good. Now it's up to the Squeagog. With Discipline 6, he must do 4 or less. There it is. Nice.
At the end of the turn, I earn 2 victory points for the secondary objective, engage on all fronts, reaching 7.
Finally, it's my turn. At the beginning of the round, I earn 5 victory points for the objective 1. In this turn, I don't have much to move. I already have almost all units in close combat. Anyway, the boys disengage and go to steal objective 2, which was controlled by Simone. Then Zodgrod approaches the bikes to avoid failing the charge, just in case. The Snaggas jump over the windows and position themselves behind the Marines, in control of Objective 4. Of course, they too are at an acceptable charge distance. In the shooting phase, the only model that can shoot is always my Snagga boy with Tank Gun, and he targets the ATV. The 3 attacks, just one. Hitting a 5, miss. The Snaggas are reaching, so they hurry to charge the Space Marines. With 10, I would say they entered without problems, but I'm not really sure. And they position themselves to allow to fight every member of the unit. Then Zodgrod charges the bikes. Being 2 inches away, he don't even need to roll the dice. The Snaggas unleash 37 attacks on 3. Wow, that's scary. Dividing them into 2 groups, the first group hits 15 attacks, while the second 10, for a total of 25. With Strength 5 and Toughness 4, the Snagga wound on 3. Again divided into 2 groups, 10 in the first, and another 6 in the second, for a total of 16 wounds.
Well, what can I say? 16 dice to save at 4+. This statistic is definitely not in my favor. As I imagined, the Space Marines have evaporated. There is nothing left on the ground but a pool of blood and armor. Maybe not even the armor anymore.
And now, let's move on to Zodgrod and his bikes.
To give the bikes more chance to survive, I use the stratagem Transhuman Physiology for 1 command point. As before, Marines can only be wounded on a 4+.
Come on Zodgrod, you can do it. 4 attacks on 2. All hit, wounding at 4. Not even 1? Seriously?
Wow, this stratagem worked! Now it's up to the Outriders to respond to the attacks, and they decide to target the Nob of Smasher Squeak. Having been charged this turn, the bikes can make 13 attacks at 3+. 9 hit! I need 5s! Not even 1. I'm trying, I swear I'm trying!
Okay, nice fight. It's up to the Nob, hoping that at least he can do something. Starting with his 5 attacks on 3, 4 hits. Wounding with 4, 3.
3 wounds to save on 4+. Rerolling 1 dice with a command point. At least 1 is saved. 1 bike is dead.
The Squeak tries to hit the bike, making 2 attacks on 3. Hitting both. Wounds on 4. Fail. Both. Rerolling 1 with a command point. Still miss.
You have flat tires on your bike. Go inflate them. You know guys, I'm not ashamed to admit that this turn has been embarrassing. On a strategic level, I know that I have done the right things, yet now I find myself extremely struggling. In my mind, I had already won the game with these charges done. But all those 1 rolls have completely screwed up my plans. Now I absolutely have to sort out my problems, otherwise I will soon find myself without an army.
Well, if nothing happened in the first turn, this round I almost lost the game. So thanks to Simone's dice, I guess. But mine are not joking either. If the leader and the Nob had rolled better attacks, the bikes would have exploded. Fortunately, this round I took out 1 unit from Simone and got 3 points from the secondary objective, Stomp and Good, reaching 8 victory points in total. I hope that Simone will continue these rolls in the next round.
In this turn is active the Assault Doctrine, improving every pistol and melee weapons armor penetration by 1. In the command phase, I earn 5 victory points for the primary objective, reaching 12. The 6th squad moves forward, preparing to make an extremely heroic but necessary move. The ATV moves near objective 2, trying to take control of it. Reginald moves away a little to avoid possible Snagga charges on him. The bikes, on the other hand, disengage from combat and are positioned next to objective 1. The ATV fires on the multi-melta on the Nob of Smasher Squeak and the twin autobolt rifle on the Boids. Let's start with the Boids. 6 shots at 3+, 5 hit. I wounded 5 as always. And of course, only 1.
No penetration, so saving with 6. Nope. 1 more boy says goodbye.
And now the multi-melta on the Nob. 2 hits at 3+. Both good. With strength 8, I need 3+. 1 wound.
Invulnerable save at 6? Nah, it fails.
D6 damage from the multi-melta. No! 2! Damn, I could have killed him.
I try to ignore both wounds on a 5+. Not even this. 2 wounds remaining to the Nob.
Being Ultramarines, Outriders can fire despite retreating from combat, but with a -1 to the hit roll. So the bikes try to finish the job and target the Nob. 8 shots at 4+. 3 hit. I wound at 5+. 2 wounds.
-1 penetration, so the Nob needs 5+ to save. Just one. Trying to ignore the last wound with 5+. Nope. 1 wound remaining to the Nob. He's still alive.
I need to get rid of that Nob for good. The Marines shoot him with the pistols, making 4 shots at 3. 3 out of 4. Okay. Strength 4 and toughness 6, I need 5s. Wow! All 3 wound! Incredible!
Oh boy, he can do it. Saving with 6. Just one. Unlucky. Ignoring both wounds with 5+. Just one! No! He's definitely dead. Damn.
It's time for my Marines' heroic action. The 6th squad charges the Squigog and his Nagaboids. It may sound insane given how devastated the other Marines were, but the close space between the building and the tent could help, a bit like the Spartans in Thermopylae. Marines need 6 to succeed in the charge. 10! Here we go! One by one the Marines approach their enemy, ready to do damage. I always try to keep the ATV at a distance from enemy units, but in this case I really need to take out the boys completely. The quad charges the last orc left next to the objective. I need a 5. 9! Okay! It arrives without problems. Let's start with the ATV on the little orc. 5 attacks at 3+ thanks to the ability Angels of Death. 3 hit, wounding at 5. Just 1. The one I need.
You're so unlucky. But you did good.
The Marines decide to split the attacks, 12 on the Squigog and 5 of the Sergeant on the Snagaboids. Let's start with the Squigog. 12 attacks on 3+. 10 hit, good. At 5 as always. 5 wounds. You have to leave us, Squigog.
Well, I don't know for how long he can survive. -2 penetration, then save with 6. Nothing to do.
Now the Sergeant. 5 attacks at 3+ on the Orcs. 2 hit. Not enough. I need 5 now. And nothing. Excellent performance.
And even the last Squig abandons us. And once again, no charge. Lovely.
After the fight is over, the Marines consolidate and prepare to defend themselves.
The Snaggas want to avenge their friends and pile in on the Blue Cans. Then, being only 8 in range, they unleash 25 attacks at 3.
I use again the stratagem Transhuman Physiology for 1 command point to give more toughness to the Marines. They can only be wounded at 4+.
Okay, slice them good. 25 attacks on 3 divided into 2 groups. Hitting 8 in the first one and 6 in the second, for a total of 14 hits. I wound at 4. Just 3 out of 14.
3 dice to save at 4+. Only 1 saved. Another Marine leaves, but at least the others still hold the position, as I expected.
At the beginning of the 3rd round, I earned 5 points thanks to the control of Objective 4, reaching 13 victory points. Zodgrod wants to get rid of those bikes for good, so he approaches threateningly. End of movement phase. In the shooting phase, the Snagaboids target the Space Marines in combat with their pistols, and shoot 12 shots at 5. Hitting 7. Same strength and toughness, so they wound with 4. Yeah, just 2.
2 dice to save on 3+. 1 saved. Take these dice. Hold on, my friend, you can do it.
Time to charge. Go Zodgrod, crush those bikes. Let's start the fight with Zodgrod. 4 attacks at 2 on the bikes. All hit, wounding with 3. Of course, just 1. I'm so disappointed.
-3 penetration, then saving with 6. Nope. 2 wounds remaining on the bike. Having been charged, the Outriders respond with 9 attacks at 3+. 5 hit. Let's see if they can wound at 5. 2 wounds.
Invulnerable roll at 6. Nope. 2 wounds. Here you go. 4 wounds left.
Space Marines attack first and make 10 attacks at 3+ on these Nagaboids. 7 hit. Wounding at 5. Just 2.
Again, invulnerable save at 6. Just 1 dead. It's totally fine. Now it's up to my Snaggas, who respond with 25 attacks at 3 divided into 2 groups. Hitting 7 attacks in the first roll, and 5 more attacks in the second, for a total of 12. I wound with 3 thanks to the higher strength. 8 wounds.
8 dice to save at 4+. Oh no, that's a lot. You have to resist. 4 saved. 2 Marines dead and 1 wound to you. Very good, my little Spartan. Keep them locked in combat. And thanks to your leadership 9, you don't even have to take the morale test. This round was difficult to play, but in the end, everything went as I hoped. I managed to take possession of Objective 2 with the ATV and took out 3 units of the Orcs. At the end of the round, thanks to the secondary objective attrition, I gained 4 victory points, reaching 16. The next round could be the decisive one. I am very confident.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do much this turn. Simone controls 3 out of 4 objectives and my leader can't hit a single attack. If nothing else, my Snagga still have control of 1 objective, and I doubt Simone can take it away from me. So I might even be able to score a few points for Get a Good Beats secondary objective. We don't have many points of difference. If in the next round Zodgrod decides to eliminate the bikes, I could still win.
In this turn is still active the Assault Doctrine. At the start of the round, I earned 15 points thanks to the 3 objectives I control, reaching 31 victory points. I have only one goal now. I absolutely have to eliminate the enemy general to end the game. The first to move is the ATV and positions itself inside of Zodgrod. The last survivor of the 6th team falls back from combat and hides behind the building. The Cobalt Eagles move backwards, always in control of the objective, leaving the enemy general isolated. The ATV opens fire on the general of the Orcs with the multi-melta, making 2 shots at 3+. Rerolling 1 with a command point. I should have expected. 1 hit. Having strength 8, I wound with 3. Congratulations on the fail, ATV. Secondary weapon, 6 attacks on 3+. 5, that's way better. Strength 4 this time, so I need 5s. 2 wounds.
With no penetration, I can save with 6. Is 8 good enough? No? Well, 2 wounds to Zodgrod.
The Cobalt Eagles also fire on the Orc with a -1 thanks to the ability of the Ultramarines. 8 shots at 4+. 6 through, 5+ to wound. 3 wounds, come on!
With -1 penetration, I have to save with the vulnerable roll at 6. Or I don't. With negative wounds, he is dead. You weren't really that useful today.
I can't believe I managed to win after all the 1s and 2s that I rolled. In the end, my strategy beat the bad luck of the dice. I knew the key to this match was going to be charging first. If Andrea had managed to get the lead with the charges, this game would certainly have been different with me playing on the defensive, leaving him the control of the battlefield. I am quite satisfied with the strategy I've chosen. I believe that the Outriders unit is extremely useful in a Space Marines list. With the Orcs on the run, the city has finally been cleared of the Greenskin scum.
Too bad. This match seemed to have started so well. Unfortunately, the initiative influenced a lot the outcome of the match. If I had managed to charge at least with the Noble Smash a Squig, I'm sure the result would have been different. The Squigogs and Zodgrod have done absolutely nothing. The only units that have performed well are the Boys and the Snagga. For the rest, I'm very disappointed with these Orcs. However, it was a very close match. At the end of the 3rd round, we had only 3 victory points of difference. Who knows if we'll ever get to see a charge of the Noble Smash a Squig.
And with this, we conclude. If you like our content and want to help us grow the channel, we have an account on the platform Buy Me a Coffee where you can support us with donations. Any help you can give us to improve the channel is welcome. We are counting on you. The link is in description.
And if you have come this far, write the word Smasha in the comments to let us know. You are the best. And if you are not yet subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, leave a like and write us in the comments. We are always curious to know what you think.
That's it, guys.
See you next video.